As the final buzzer sounded on the Pistons' 2023 season, two die-hard fans, Mickey and Harry, each passed out and witnessed a vision. They were visited by Detroit's very own mascot, Hooper, the stallion ablaze, who told them the only way the Pistons would ever win a championship again was if these two men started a podcast. To be clear, they said, do we really have to do this? I mean, aren't there enough Pistons podcasts already? It seems like this might be overkill. But Hooper dunked on them, right in their face, and said, your team needs you. He presented them with a prophecy. Now it is their duty to help Detroit rise again and become champions. The Order of the Blazing Horse. Welcome back to a brand spanking new episode of The Order of the Blazing Horse, the only Detroit Pistons podcast based on a mystical prophecy. I am one of those prophets touched by a horse in a very appropriate, consensual, ethereal way. Harry Morrow's out here in Ypsilanti in the Midwest, joined by my best, my good, my great co-host with the most, butt on your breakfast toast.
I'm Mickey Jacobs. I love that intro. That was really good. How you doing, Harry? What up, though?
I'm holding up. I'm enjoying the temperature shift, although it's about to drop back down. My chickens are surviving. Robust birds. They got a
shout out Rose.
Shout out Rose, the last remaining Buff Orpington of my little hen flock out here. But I'm doing pretty good. Mickey, how is it for you out there?
It's good. It's good. I can't complain.
You know why we can't complain for real, though, is because so many of you liked, subscribed, put on your notifications that we finally hit this goal. I didn't think we were going to do it before the year was over, but we did it. We got to 100 subscribers. Shout out to GoDad Wagon, my boy Snickter in the house. Shout out to everybody who joins in the chat, who subscribes, who really helps out, who has a good time coming through the show, listening to the show, just supporting the show. That's so cool of you to do. And thank you for supporting the Pistons, who are one of the easiest to support teams in the NBA right now. Came out the break. We talked to John Shillman from the NBA.com Power Rankings Writings. He said, we'll see how they do against Boston, against some of this competition. We're coming fresh off a spanking, a 27-point spanking of Atlanta, and then a pretty convincing win over Boston, who had two dudes put up 30. It was a monster night from Jalen Brown. Derek White did his best. Let me get him while their back is turned. Stab him hard attempt, but it was not enough when we have the king of clutch, the rising in the MVP ranks, Mr. Cunningham, number recently retired by his high school maybe a couple days ago. Cade Cunningham. Mickey, how have these games felt for you?
Felt really good. It's good to be back on a little win streak. We got 4 in a row now. It kind of reminds me of, like, there was this period last season where we were getting leads and we just couldn't keep them. And, like, even with a 20-point lead, you can't relax. And then they got over it. They kind of learned how to win and they took it. And, like, this season, like, it's been a new group. And after the streak, even though we were still winning games, the win streak, but, like, it just didn't look quite as good. It's looking better. It's looking really good. We were having conversations. Are they playing too many guys? All the guys they're playing are playing pretty good. Danis has fallen a little bit out of the rotation, and I got to tell you, I'm not too mad about it. I think he is a guy that you can plug in when you need him. I think he's a guy where if Cade needs to sit, he can play some serious minutes and deliver. Shout out Javonte Green. Shout out Karis LeVert.
Oh my God.
Wow. That dunk alone, man.
That dunk came after he made like a catch and shoot 3. That was like enormous. Then the steal, the slam on Derek White. Someone called that like the best dunk of the year, one of the best dunks of the year. It was powerful. And I feel like Javonte, because he has like this crazy wingspan, really has thrown some hammers down. That's not a part of his game that I assumed was going to be big coming into Detroit this season, but my dear Lord, Javonte stays evergreen out there.
He sure do. I'll take him any time of year.
And why don't you talk a little bit about Karis LeVert? Because Karis is essentially what's kind of bounced Danis out of the rotation, I think.
Yeah, and I gotta eat some crow on this. We were talking to John Showman last week, and you both were basically just trying to, because I was like, I'd rather some of those minutes go to Javonte Green. I think he has positional versatility, and you guys very smartly, John especially, was pointing out to me like, well, Karras is more of a rhythm guy, like Danis. Javonte can just sort of come whenever his number is called and be effective. Karras needs a little more time to get into it, and he has had time to get into it. He has been hitting threes. He's been getting buckets. I feel like his decision making has been really good. The defense really just like watching the cup game like made me realize. And by the way, Jordan Clarkson had a really good game, but he's a chucker, and he's a chucker who can't really play defense. So like having a bucket off the bench who is also not a cone is such a luxury.
I,
When we're talking about this like league of sixth men.
I would argue that he's less. I mean, more than not a cone. Like he has some like
No, he's a good
out
he's
there,
a good defender.
and it's not like unbelievable or anything. But one of the things I hope as a fan base that we can take in mind when we're talking about guys like Karis LeVert, Javonte Green, Danis Jenkins, and like what their role is and where the like strengths and weaknesses are. We're talking about guys who are in the second unit playing typically against guys who are also in the second unit. So we don't need you to hold up like crazy against the team's best player. You're probably holding up against their like second unit floor general, right? And it's not as tall a task. You just have to be like up for it. And I think everybody on Detroit has bought into this defensive identity, is really trying it out. And when it comes to shooting the three, no joke, Karras is maybe the second best 3-point shooter on our team this season. It's like him, Stu, and Duncan all above 40 or like right at 40, and everybody else is kind of a disaster as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I know Ivy's like his numbers are like up and down because the numbers are so low right now, just in general. And he didn't hit a three in this last game, but against Boston,
I think he hit one. I think he hit
oh,
like
did
he
he?
went like 1 for 5 or something. But your point stands.
And OG, unnamed YouTube user, classic man, classic lady, classic listener. I'm not sure which it is. I'm not going to dox you one way or the other, but OG. But they say Karras is a very versatile player who is very valuable in the role he plays. And I think that's very correct. Like a lot of V's, a lot of varies, but not a lot of variance in our mentality on what we think about Karras at this moment.
Yeah, and I think versatile is exactly the word that he and JB used like to start the season, and like hand in the air, like I was not loving Karras coming back from injury, and he looks great now. He's playing a really important role for us, and like you see him a lot in some of these closing lineups. So you were talking about defensive buy-in. What have you seen from Jaden Ivey? I know our friend and fellow Pistons podcaster, Pistons personality, Bryce Simon, did a breakdown. What have you seen from JI on the defensive end?
Like when I was watching that game, I was messaging you a little bit because you were checking like from like a little different time. And I was like, dude, these defensive stances by Ivy are like not getting rewarded. Like it really sucks. And I'm happy Bryce did that. If you haven't watched it, go to Motor City Hoops on the Substack and give that a watch. It's a great breakdown, and it shows like all these defensive stands that Ivy has, and like the buckets that were getting shot over him. It was like 5, I think. Are you fucking kidding? Baskets, like really unbelievable. And I'm happy it didn't demoralize him at all, because when it did pay off, when his defense did pay off, was at the end of the game in the fourth quarter when it mattered most. That block on Jaylen Brown was nasty. Him and Danis, I think, or not Danis, him and Karras combined for like a steal and a transition bucket as well. Like I'm liking it. Like, I'm liking that stuff. His defensive ability and size, because he is bigger, has impressed me. His rebounding and hustle has impressed me. The 3-point shot, I'm not worried about. The only concern I have about Ivy at the moment is his finishing at the rim, because it's not great. But once again, we have plenty of time to check out and see what's going to happen with him. He's still getting back from injury, a much bigger injury than the Karis LeVert one. And we did a segment several weeks ago, maybe months ago, about how tough it is for players to come back from injury and how sometimes it takes a little bit to like get going. And for him, I think especially like knowing when to go to the rim, like how to read that offense while also trying to balance what his role is on this team, which I think is becoming more and more clear. Like it seems like he's kind of a second unit guy at this point, which is fine for me because second unit could use like a little bit of scoring juice, a little bit of a very little bit of ball handling juice, which is kind of what I think he has to offer. And like it's nice. It also will probably affect his contract going forward. Like we'll see what happens there. But for me as a whole, I've been happy with the progress, and I'm trying to be patient as far as the offense goes. How about you?
Yeah, I think I forget if it was JB who was saying this or Omari Sankofa. It's less about the injury and it's more about just how long it's been since he's played and like they're ramping up his minutes. It's been a process. Um, I agree with you about the finishing, but I really think, as we talked about in the last couple weeks, um, with less playmaking responsibility and more emphasis on scoring and defensive buy-in, I really like what I've seen from him, and I think that it's been a more natural application of his game. Um, when Cade went in at Purdue, I think he had to do a lot of ball handling because there wasn't like really a true point guard. I think when Cade went down in JAI's rookie year, he ended up just sort of like being a de facto point guard, but like he doesn't have to be that person necessarily. Like we've talked about how Asar can handle, Karras can handle some. We've got Danis waiting in the wings.
Yeah,
Should
we
we
got
need?
Sasser,
We
who
got
looked
Sasser.
good in his return. 7 points in 4 minutes. Get the fuck out of here, son.
Yeah,
Like,
man. So you also make a good point too about his contract because, like, as much as we're like, ooh, it'd be really cool to get Trey Murphy or it'd be really cool to get X guy, like, if we stand pat or like make a move around the margins and end up signing Ivy, like, whether you like he comes back to being like an 18-point scorer and that deal looks amazing, or that ends up being a very movable contract that like you need movable contracts. Like, I think we're sitting kind of pretty right now. I think it's a good little problem to have, and I personally just really like watching his minutes, whether he does well or not, because it's like so interesting and exciting to see him playing basketball again and getting back to himself.
and like we were saying earlier, there's a mentality for Detroit players, like this hustle, this doggy style, for nasty doggy style, for lack of a better word. And he's really buying into it, man. Like
Yeah.
when I watched him on there was like this massive defensive rotation possession against I think Atlanta that it was highlighted. It's been all over Instagram and whatnot, where like the Pistons covered everybody all over the place with a ton of switching. Ron fell at the beginning of the play and he was still covering people. Then in the corner, I don't remember who shot the three, but they ended up. Oh, it was Moge. Moge shot the three, missed it. Ivy's the one who ran down that defensive board, like really hard, ran down that defensive board and
The
threw it off
boards,
the
the rebounding has been really great.
yeah.
Like, and if he's better off like focusing on rebounding than like dropping dimes or like doing much handling, like fine. And I think he's a big part of this too. Is don't you feel like our transition game has been a lot better lately?
It's been good. He's fast
Yeah.
as fuck still. Like
He's super fast, and that I think it was but I just feel like in general, like our defense to offense, like we're like running up and down the floor more, like playing more like us. I think in some of those games and some of those losses following the 13-win streak, um,
doggy style is not quite the right wording.
I wasn't gonna touch it. I wasn't gonna touch it. I was gonna let it go, but OG's all over you. Uh, aggregate it. But I
We'll save it. Oh, the doggy style term for when we're in Miami and heat, and we'll be all set.
To use your word, Harry, gross.
Yeah, with the proper way.
But like actually,
Yeah.
yeah. But there was I couldn't watch the game live. I was working, but there was a Ron Steele to Cade in transition to Ivy layup that resulted in an and one,
Mhm.
and Cade just like stands over Ivy and like daps him up and motherfucking one.
Yep.
Yeah, it was so sweet, and it was just like such cool like you could just see Ivy like feeling like more and more a part of winning,
Yeah.
which is just like it's going to be gradual, and like these are just like some of those moments that I'm stoked to see in real time, except I didn't watch that one in real time. I watched it in a highlight later.
You're right about the transition, like turn and like getting down transition, get these rebounds in transition. The other thing about the rebounding that's like huge is remember I remember in that Boston game and in that Orlando game that they lost earlier, the back-to-back cup losses, there were in both those games possessions where there were just defensive rebounds there for the taking that bounced off the ground and went right to Orlando players. When Ivy's on the floor, that doesn't happen. So it's nice when you see this thing that low key helped contribute to what 40% of the losses on the season. That's which is so crazy. 2 losses is 40%, or is that right? Yeah, that's right. And here we are. What 21-6 at this point?
Yeah, good place
Unbelievable.
to be. Good place to be.
Absolutely unbelievable. The numbers that are also unbelievable to transition, and this is like in more of a negative way, but and actually before whatever, I'll say it regardless because we're transitioning to him. But anyway, and in the last game, I got to give a shout out to Eric McKay on Blue Sky, who pointed out and tagged us when the announcers said, "In a league full of specimens, Jalen Duren stands out because the dribble is staying on them lips, even if he hasn't been putting up the points and the rebounds as much as he has been all season. Over his last 10 games, he's only scored 20 points once and only had double-digit rebounds twice. Or sorry, not double-digit rebounds, double-digit shot attempts twice. It's kind of nuts and sad because against Boston, who has kind of a weak front court, not that much size, they've really bottled him up.
Just Kita, yeah. And like, look, it's not always just a matter of like big matchup. Like Derek White's a really effective defender. Jalen Brown's just having like an unbelievable year.
Yeah.
But it was like that in the other Boston game too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really like where the drop off started. And they were talking about it on Pistons Pulse. Great podcast.
Have you heard of him on this show?
Yeah, that's really, really good. We
If you like
reference
the
it.
Pistons Pulse, like and subscribe to Word of the Blazing Ones. Put on those alarms. Join the chat.
But on the real, thanks for getting us to triple digits. That
real, yeah.
meant more.
Hey, we're at 101 now. Hell yeah.
It meant more than meant more than it should. But it meant a lot. So they were talking about like maybe it's just like a scouting report thing where it's like they're expecting more of that face up. But I still feel like like that he could just like exert his will a little more. But like it also might just be, like better the ball move around, like better to find like as opposed like because I feel like with Karras out and with Ivy out at the time, like when he was putting up a lot of those numbers, like there was sort of a well, where the fuck else are the points going to come from sort of situation. Like so now maybe like we're figuring out how to get Duncan his looks better. I think like he looks a lot less hesitant. So maybe it's just a natural progression of things. But like, yeah, no, I mean the if it continues on this trend, I think like the all-star conversation stuff is gonna get a lot quieter.
For sure. But like you said, we're still winning these games, right? Like, do we really need his offense
All that matters.
in the last couple? It's not. I didn't even feel like, oh my god, what a terrible JD game against Boston. I was just like, oh wait a minute, he hasn't scored, but like literally everybody else is putting in work right now, and that's fine, like super fine. Like the points are very well spread for the Pistons, I believe.
Like crazy well spread in that. Yeah. The Hawks game was nuts, was like insane. It was like nobody had more than like 15 or 17 or something. And Stu might have.
Stu was the
leader, but yeah. And by the way, I will say for Duren, like the rim protection's been better. Like the rim protection's been good. So like I think that is what matters. I think like this is less of a like him like falling off and more of a like him knowing what's needed. And like, I think if Tobias were to go down, like you would see him be more aggressive. Like I think knowing when and how he has to step up is key.
Yeah. And the other downside that people have been talking about is like Asar Thompson's offense. And we touched on this last time. I really think it's just because he hasn't been handling the ball as much. And when he was like a near primary ball handler or like secondary ball handler early in the season, he was getting up double-digit shot attempts, and now he's just not. And the shots are coming like a different way. Going back to the Duren talk, Richard DM for it says teams have been focusing on taking Duren away offensively. He just hasn't been aggressive forcing things. That's fine. That means we're not getting turnovers. It would be nice to see him start to force because he is so big. And I'd like to see him be able to just be like, it doesn't matter what the situation, I'm going to get mine. And I think he's capable of it. But I mean, the leap just to get here from last season, the end of last season, has blown us all away. So maybe the consistency of it is what's going to take the remainder of the season.
I mean, I think that's the next step for this strapping 22-year-old man.
Hulking Goliath.
This carved out of marble Adonis. You brought up the specimen one. That's the one that just sends a chill down my spine, dude. I hate it. But yeah, I actually think I like Asar taking these mid-range jumpers. Like and the finishing has been really good too. Like it'll come, and I just feel like his defense is just so important for what we do. But I feel like I've actually seen less of like swinging, like kicking out to Asar in the corner, and then him just sort of like dribbling and being like, all right, what next? Like I feel like what another thing Bryce was talking about is like that Ron Holland stampede drive that we've been seeing where he stopped shuffling his feet, by the way. Like we're not getting called for that silly travel. But like Asar being more aggressive in that way and like not backing out as much and but in general, just quick decisions.
Yeah.
Like whether it's swinging or driving or whatever, like there's like in a split second, he's gone and you can't guard him.
That stampede move that was brought up, that reminds me a lot of when Christian Brown for Denver really started making his ascent. He was like an incredible slasher. I remember against the Pistons specifically, that happened, I don't know, a million times in a single game. I was like, they can't stop this dude. And we have two dudes who can do that. I mean, probably honestly three. If Ivy started doing that too, I bet it would be better for his rim finishing as well, just because then it's harder to like
contest,
get in front of him. Yeah, and contest. Yeah. He'll be like just getting right there. So if you have three dudes that fast, two of them are monsters, like absolute massive monsters. And Ivy's no slouch size wise either at this point. That's something special to have. So I'm excited for it. And watching Ron Holland play, there's so much discourse right now about the Pistons and like what their young core is like and the trade talk about it. On the game theory with Sam Vecini, Sam said that if the Pistons wanted to trade for Trey Murphy, it would take, he thinks, Jaden Ivey, Ron Holland, and some firsts. No chance I would do that. I put this up on our Blue Sky that keep these names out your trade mouth. Cade, Ron Holland, Stu, Asar, and Duren. They cannot go. I do not see a return worth moving them and bringing anything back to this team because they all play such an important piece. And like when it comes to the Ivy stuff, that conversation is interesting too because of contract and because of future money stuff. Like, are you really going to be able to get somebody as good with as high a ceiling as him for less money or for like the same amount of money that you're looking into it? Trey Murphy, at least the contract's like great, but I'm not giving up two young dudes with two top 5 picks, no less, with enormous potential, and then another several first rounds on top of it. You just don't, to me, it don't make no sense.
Me neither. And I get why Sam would say that just because like everybody wants them some Trey Murphy. He's really fucking good. But like, look, this isn't like precedent is weird with trades. Like just because one guy went for one package doesn't mean another guy like that equals out. But in the Bane trade, which I think is like fairly comparable, like I don't even think the Mikal Bridges one is comparable because he's just like such a good defender. And I don't think Trey Murphy's a bad defender, but I don't think he's like represents the two. Also, Mikal Bridges is like Iron Man. Mm-hmm. So like that availability is such a valuable thing. But plus his friends went to Villanova. So that's also something to consider. But With the Bane thing, he went for the real value was the 4 picks,
which wasn't even really 4 picks because
and
one
a
of those
first
picks is
round.
because of Contavious Caldwell-Pope getting off of him. You had to give another pick. So like,
Right. So but like KCP and Cole Anthony are not like game changers for a team.
they're
So
not even
like,
playing. Like
right,
those guys are
right.
not even playing.
So that's why I'm like, I would rather. I agree with you. It's way too early to cut bait on Ron Holland. Like I also just think he's such a fan fave, and like I really get the feeling that like we haven't even really begun to see what he can do.
No, like there's literally nobody else on the team who has the ability to change the energy in the room in a split second. They just don't. It doesn't happen like that. When Ron makes a big steal and slam, if you're playing in an opposing arena, it's silent. If you're playing in Detroit, people are ripping the seats off the cement blocks that are on the ground. He is a vibe initiator. It's a talent. It's an intangible that I don't think gets talked about enough.
So I just want to bring this up because last night after bowling, I was hanging with some of my friends and we were talking about this. And, I'm like, yeah, they don't watch like Pistons. Like they don't know, like they might not agree. Ron Holland, as a casual, if you've never watched Ron Holland play, you look at his stat line. He's averaging 8 points on 41-27 splits. Like, granted, he's good for a steal and a half in that.
It's crazy. How many minutes he played? Like 18 or something?
20, 21.
Minutes, yeah.
But even my Lakers friends who like are casual Pistons observers at best are like, oh yeah, I wouldn't trade Ron Holland either.
Yeah,
so I think that's a testament to like, it's not just us being homers, it's everyone being like, yeah, we should wait around and see what that kid is because but anyway, like
20.
I say all this,
he's 20 years old.
Right. But I say all this to say some combination of Karras, Ivy, maybe Sasser, and like
2 Weaver guys, yeah.
2 to 4 picks. Like to me, that should get it done. Because you have Karras putting up like what is probably a career high from distance. And Ivy is like a really exciting player for a team that like will need a lead guard or a backcourt mate with Fears if that's what we're doing. And
OG, you're right. But go ahead. Sorry.
No. Sasser also Weaver guy.
Yeah, he traded up to get him. Sasser,
there you go.
I mean, like those are Weaver guys without a doubt. And OG unnamed YouTube user says, Harry, you were talking to Laurie previously. There's 0% chance you can get him without one of my untouchables. Yeah, that's why I have no interest in Laurie anymore.
When's the last time you heard Harry bring up Laurie Martin? It's been at least a month. Like I actually think it's been like a minute since
I spit the pill out like a dog taking its medicine. You got to give me some yogurt to get back Laurie pilled, I think.
Peanut butter to help that medicine go down.
It's just not happening. I get it. And like, even with the TM3 trade, if it was Ivy, Karras, Sasser, and some firsts, I'd be like, I think so. I think I'd do that. But at the same time, if we don't make a move, I'm not upset.
Yeah,
I'm really not upset.
I will say if Trey Murphy goes down, you're in trouble. Like you're lacking a lot of depth there.
If that trade were to happen, there would have to be a secondary trade that would also have to happen to bring in another player.
It's interesting that we have a $15 million trade exception.
I know.
God, I wonder if there's another OG. Can you guess who Harry's going to bring up next? Can you guess?
I looked at this contract just to see if it fit, and it doesn't, which I'm a little upset about because I was looking a little into Max Strus, hitting it from point blank range like John Wilkes Booth. But
DePaul alumni, go Blue Demons! Blue Demons up!
Get him and B-Ball Paul in the same squad, dog.
Hey, wow, 2 Wolverines and 2. Well, I guess he's gone in this situation, but
it would happen. But like, I mean, also like, it's just I like Max Strus a lot. I've liked Max Strus for a number of years. I know he's injured, and like Cleveland's kind of reeling. Cleveland is really real. I don't know if you guys saw it. They lost to Chicago last night. They lost to Charlotte right before it. They're near 500 right now. It is dire by the mistake on the lake, as it were. But like that's a guy I'd be looking at. Is like, okay, he's a little expensive. He's got 2 years on him. It's 16 and 17, I think, or remaining. And he's like 30 right now, something like that. Like I said, also injured, but he's a guy who can shoot. That's the type of dude I was
He can
looking
also
for.
do literally everything else.
Yeah, he's
That's a Swiss Army knife. Like that's a good guy to have. Uh, I was referencing though Keon Ellis
for sure,
for your just because that's the bell you've been ringing,
for
and
sure.
like it is a little theoretical at this point, but like even a monk, like
Corey
Corey Kispert,
Kispert,
that's a good one. That's a
mhm,
good one. I like absolutely shooting. We were
fun card.
talking, and like if we're I don't know if we're ready to segue into our next segment, but Max Christie is a guy. He plays for the Dallas Mavericks, a team that we're facing off against in an hour,
Is that right? In an hour?
isn't
Okay.
it?
Oh yeah, we
Isn't
have an
it?
hour.
Isn't
Yeah.
it 5:30 Pacific?
So
Uh,
that I mean, I love Max Christie. Dude D's up. The dude hits threes. It's important.
the dude is shooting 48-46 splits right now.
It ain't
40
hap it ain't
48
happening.
46 85. I don't know. I mean, you're probably right because they need shooting too,
Mhm.
but and he's on a chill contract.
We have a better chance of getting Clay Thompson than we do of Max Christie is my bet.
Pass.
Yeah.
You're right. He's averaging 29 minutes. Yeah,
Can
they play him.
just because there's so much talk about this guy right now, can we talk a little bit about our feelings on the idea of MPJ coming to the Detroit Pistons? Mickey, how would you feel about it?
Well, here's the thing about females, bro. No,
Right?
I'm good. I'm good on MPJ. I think he's like a big dumbass.
Yeah. I
And like I actually think he like fits some. We were talking about this actually because I said I think he's a dummy, but I think he like does fit some positional need. Like, but like I don't know. Tobias has been fine.
yeah.
Like that's not. I don't know. And I also think like the numbers that he's putting up now are. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying like who else is gonna take those shots, especially with Cam Thomas out.
Yeah.
Like Danny Wolf?
I mean, he's pretty sick. I do like
No,
Danny
yeah,
Wolf.
yeah, 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 yeah. But
Here's the thing about Michael Porter Jr. and his stats on the Nets that I also kind of want to point out. And this is purely speculation. How hard are teams playing defense when they're playing against the Brooklyn Nets? I don't know if I said Spurs earlier. I meant the Brooklyn Nets. Like no one is going into those games being like, "Yo, we got to lock down tonight." Because it's not like they're on this epic losing streak, but they're also not a team that anyone's taking seriously. So like everything's a little bit looser there. I get he's putting out crazy numbers. I get that he's a tall guy. I get that he can rebound and he's great from distance. Super cool. I get that he was on that championship Denver team. The thing that I take issue with him is his mind, his brain. And I know people are like it's just off the court stuff. That's not doesn't affect his gameplay. The brain is poison. Like you're around those teammates. This is a tight knit group that we're talking about in Detroit. I don't want that
they
poison
love
brain.
each other.
Right.
They love each other. Like all up and down the roster. If you watch the latest, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like at the latest belt ceremony, Javante Green, or maybe that's not the latest. Yeah, it is the latest one. He was just talking about how much he loves playing for these guys, and like they are just constantly talking about how much they love each other. And I think that's like one thing that Troy Weaver did really well.
Oh
Was,
yeah.
and obviously I think it's like aligns with Trajan's vision too, but I think like good dudes is like there's a huge emphasis on that.
100%. We got Pukes from OG, and we got would be locker. He would be bad for the locker room vibe for sure from Richard DM for it. It's 100% true. I don't care if it's not basketball stuff. It's still like stuff that you talk about. And like, I
It's
mean,
vibes. It's vibes.
yeah,
It's like that shit absolutely matters. Like and like intangibles are a big part of winning.
yeah.
Like I think you saw that with us last season is like guys loving each other and loving playing together that like where the sum of the part or the whole was greater than the sum of the parts. Like I think there's like a handful of examples where like culture has been destroyed and the team like falls apart. Like I think like the Suns with CP3 had a culture, like whether he's like a cool dude or not, like they had something there. Like the Dylan Brooks Memphis Grizzlies, like maybe Dylan Brooks was the villain so Ja didn't have to be.
Mhm.
Like that they were scary. They were a scary team to go up against and now they're like a little bit of a joke. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for, and like that's not all like what we're talking about with like personality issues, but I do think like you don't want to go and like mess with a good thing by introducing something that is like by removing something like and like making the Jenga tower fall down, or like putting a poison pill in there, because yeah, I don't want, I'd rather just make no trades than trade for Michael Porter Jr.
100%. And like,
And I'm glad, by the way, that the chat agrees with that, because I know some people are hot for him, but I think it's a testament to our audience
yes,
and to Pistons fans and a little bit to Blue Sky.
a little bit the Blues guy. But like,
it ain't called Red Sky, is it?
It's the last thing I want to say about that, and this is like kind of alluded to. OG says, just look at Tobias for MPJ entire career Spider-Man meme, but Tobias is a great leader and MPJ is a moron. Yeah, imagine taking out Tobias's leadership and replacing it with, I can beat WNBA players when I was in 7th grade. Love Trump, all that shit. Like,
put on some Andrew Tate.
Oh my God. Like, it's just, there's a reason that so many millennials aren't talking to their parents. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. why are we bringing that energy to the Thanksgiving table that is the Detroit Pistons feast? Right? It just doesn't. Yeah. To me, it doesn't make sense. Isn't worth it. And I want no part of it. I've been so proud of this organization and like the Lions as well, bringing in good dudes, like just this whole good dude mentality. Because not only has that been good for like team results, it's made it very easy for me as a fan to get behind guys. That's why I love Cade Cunningham so much. Like, granted, he's arguably a top 3 player in the NBA this season. Like,
so fucking good.
What Jeff Teague say, number 1 on his shot? He said he's the MVP in the league right now because
I love that. I love that argument. I don't want to cut you off. Keep going.
But no, we can talk about that. It's just like we'll get into that as soon as I finish saying this. It's just Cade's also a good dad and a good leader, and like he's been, by all accounts, a good person in the media. And like I know there's like some weird stuff about LeBron, but LeBron has been essentially controversy free his entire career as the like face of the NBA for what, 20 years or something like that. It's cool that Cade Cunningham has that controversy free good guy stuff going for him as well. I fucking love that. But how about I let you talk a little about this Jeff Teague thing if you haven't seen it?
Well, I also just want to like touch on what you were saying too. Like, a lot of times I'll get other teams' broadcasters and they'll be like, wow, the Pistons bench are like going nuts right now, or like, look at how like together they are. Like, that's not an accident. Like, that's front office. That's like everyone on the team. It's JB. Like, that shit is really valuable. I think like your point about Cade is excellent too. And dude, I was thinking about this. Like, I'm not trying to force a nickname or anything. He's QB. Like, he's QB1. Like,
he'd love that.
He's not just he was just like talking about it in an interview. Like, he's not like selfish at all, but he's like, I love having the ball in my hand. Like, I love being trusted to like make the right decision. And like, what I'm trying to say too is like the leadership qualities that he has are so natural. Like, it's so not forced. It's not like him like stepping in and like throwing his weight around and like just being like, I'm that motherfucker. Like, I'm sure there's like I'm sure there's an unspoken, like, just everybody knows, but like he genuinely like loves the guys. And I think shout out the social media team for the Pistons for like doing a really good job for giving us a little like sneak peek like in the locker room and the practices. Like, it just seems like they're having a lot of fun. And I think it's like partially like what they've been through together, like after the Monty season. But like, he's just like really like, when you meet people that are just like, wow, you just got that like thing, dude, about you. Like, you can't fake that. And you can't like, that's another like intangible. And like, I don't think Ant has it. Like, we're going to get into some conversations in a little bit. And like, I think Ant is an unbelievable player, but I don't think like he has that like innate quarterback leader. And like, granted, he's less of a point guard than Cade is, but like, I think there's a lot of players who are great. Like Luka, I don't think has that. Like, I don't think they are like as beloved and like in it for their team as much. I think they're like a little individually minded, which isn't even like a bad thing, but like, it's a different thing.
If you've seen The Sandlot, And you know who Benny the Jet Rodriguez is?
Mm-hmm.
Cade is giving Benny the Jet
Mm-hmm.
Rodriguez. Like he makes that squad. And they're all playing it to like the best of their abilities, but like that's the sort of like quiet, friendly leadership that I guess it's not even really quiet, but like just like the natural leadership that it's truly stunning. So now let's transition to that Jeff Teague clip that was
Yeah.
mentioned. Mickey, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So first of all, Jeff Teague eats crow and is like, "I'm sorry, Pistons fans. Like, I feel like I made some sort of comment about like how Cade's not really in the MVP conversation because he totally 180'd on it and said that he thinks he's like the front runner because unlike guys like Shea and Jokic, like he's the only star on his team. Brunson has Cat, Luca has
OG
LeBron and Austin
Bridges.
Reeves. Yeah, no, like that's just an amazingly
Jokic
assembled
is
squad.
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon's really. I mean, he's not a star, but like Jamal Murray's been an all-star,
Well, no,
right?
actually, he hasn't.
No, he's like the best player who's never
Yeah,
been an all-star.
he'll,
But
he'll be an
like,
all-star this year. There's
I
no
mean,
doubt.
Jokic is insane. Like Jokic should probably be MVP every year, like on paper. Yeah, what Cade is doing in the East with no stars around him is the argument. And I think like one thing they always used to use to ding him, whether it was like rookie of the year or all-star considerations, was win total.
Yeah.
And look at us now, NBA. Look at us now, you
A
sons of bitches.
atop the East, but falling in some power rankings for whatever reason. It's so strange. But like, I don't care. Like, I just don't care about the power rankings anymore. The Pistons are, I believe, 5.5 games ahead of the third best team in the Eastern Conference, which is nuts. They're the only team in their division that doesn't have double-digit losses. This team is good.
No, it's they're really good. I also just like the smooth operator thing catching on, like
God,
not just among Pistons broadcasters, but and like that shot that he hit, that step back spin fade on Derek White,
Wait,
who's
yeah.
like one of the best. It's pretty money, man. He's been really good.
It's so like in the fourth quarter in the clutch, I'm just like every shot he takes, it's going in. I just assume it's especially if it's from the mid range.
Well, and like these were all the knocks. Like these were all the knocks. It was like Cade isn't clutch, the turnovers are a real problem, and the three ball's not there. And I think up until like I think the three ball thing is like the only remaining argument. And he literally just went 6 of 10 and like bumped his percentage up to 33, and it's not even Christmas. Like so I feel like Cade is always kind of broken late in terms of the season, but just like the like extra gear that he's finding and just the growth is like, because you don't want to get greedy, but like I will if
Yeah.
you keep getting better. Like I guess I'll just be like, yeah, no. But I love that argument from Jeff Teague of like, look at the supporting cast, look at the wins, look at like how he is, the head of the spear.
And like on top of that, doing an offense and defense. Like who else is doing it? Shea's doing an offense and defense, but with a team full of like all defensive players. Granted, Cade does have like a star that he's playing with mostly. But like he doesn't have 4 stars, 4 other stars out there. It's just it's awesome. It's overall awesome. I'm happy to have Cade. And the team that we're going against tonight, the Dallas Mavericks, they have their own new head of the snake. He was playing point guard for a while. I think that switched up for the better for him because he shouldn't have been done in it in the first place. I'm glad he got his reps and stuff because he's an exciting talent. He was the first overall pick this year. Detroit is going up against Dallas here in about 45 minutes. And Dallas showcases Cooper Flagg, who has been unreal as of late. He has been so friggin' good. But this will be a fun matchup. I'm not sure if Anthony Davis is playing tonight. I should actually pay some attention to that. Check on the injury report, but who knows? As of right now, we shall soon see. But it's not like the Mavs roster is terrible. They are winning more games. They seem to have like kind of established their identity a little bit better now that they've got Ryan Nembhard playing point guard as of late. Like it's nice that he showed up for them. Max Christie's been money. We talked about him a little bit. Anthony Davis is back, putting up some numbers. Derek Lively out for the season. then we know what Daniel Gafford is. Last time these teams played, I believe Duren stomped on it. This is one of Duren's 30-point games earlier in Mexico City. Mickey, what are you expecting out of these guys? Cade versus Cooper, who has the ability to be more super?
I gotta give the edge to Cade, and I just think I really hope I'm not wrong about this because I might be, but I feel like the Pistons have guys that can slow Cooper down. Like I do think that like between Asar and Stu, and even Cade to a degree, I like he's still young. Granted, like they were a little more discombobulated last time we played them. I don't think he had a very good night. I think he had like 16 points or something, which granted it was like probably like his fifth game or something in the league. So who knows? Maybe he's finding it. But I also think it's worth noting that Gafford was coming back from injury when Duren did that to him.
Yeah.
So I also think notorious Pistons killer PJ Washington had a bad game. I don't know if he will again. He's real good. You got to be careful. I don't know if Najee Marshall is playing, but he's pretty solid too. I do think it'll be fun. I do think it should be a win. What do you think? How do you feel?
I mean, in all honesty, I feel like every game the Pistons play should be a win at this point. I can't wait to see them play the Knicks. I can't wait to see them play the Thunder. Like I can't wait to see them play the Nuggets. The playing against the Thunder and the Nuggets, the games I most want to see. I know people still like the Hornets. I mean, the Rockets more than the Pistons, which I think is hilarious considering Detroit beat them at their home opener, down almost all their bigs, missing some players.
But just look at the makeup of that. Like, just like what we're talking about with the like, Cade doesn't have a name. Like, there are 3-ish guys on the Rockets that could like fit the bill of like he doesn't have a Şengün, he doesn't have a KD, like he has a Thompson, but he doesn't have a Thompson that's like been enabled to be as aggressive and has been playing more because he didn't have blood clots.
Right.
So
still plays more minutes per game.
Yeah, but man, like I get why people say that, but I actually think we match up pretty well against the Rockets.
I do too. I really do think we play well because they both play heavy on the boards. They both play big, and I think Detroit is just better at playing big than they are. And I think they match up on Şengün really well. And I think Cade also matches up on KD really well.
That's such a fun matchup.
Yeah.
And by the way, you brought up some other ones. Like I'm excited to see them play OKC too. I'm really excited for that Knicks matchup.
Yeah.
I actually hope that the Knicks aren't too like beat up when we play because I want like no excuses.
No excuses.
Let's like I want revenge.
You want to do the beating essentially.
Yeah. No, I want that to be like a contention. I'm sure that'll feel like a playoff game
for both teams. I guarantee they're going to be feeling it.
Yes.
Anyway, back to like
right,
this.
Sorry.
No need to apologize. But like, because I'm the one who derailed the whole thing anyway, bringing up all those other teams. But talking about this Dallas matchup, I am eager to see if they shut down Cooper really well. I want to see how if AD plays. I think he'll probably play. I'll have to double check. But like if AD plays, I'd love to see how they match up against him because I do think the defense has been pretty good as a whole. And I think this team defensively is just way more together this year than they were last year. And they have better defensive parts like up and down the roster. And I kind of want to see if what I want to see most out of this game is if we have this second unit gelling the way we had it starting to get some real chemistry last game against Boston, because I really felt like Ivy, Karras, Javonte, Stu, Ron, that I thought that unit played like really well together, like super good together. So I want to see if maybe that continues to be going in a very high positive, because when Cade's on the floor, you're probably going to win those minutes. Like they just almost always do. Amari interviewing Jason Kidd before, or at least on Blue Sky, Omari Sankofa II says, Kidd said, when you look at the pace, his being Cade, his speed and his ability to control the game, not just from scoring, but passing, he just understands when it's time to go. He should be mentioned with the MVPs, if not the MVP right now, because of the high level he's playing at. People recognize that, like, this is he is a guy. He is a problem. And what's so funny about it is, you remember last season when they kept throwing, and even earlier this season, they'd throw like massive double teams, triple teams at him, and that would cause problems for a while. But then he seemed to break through that. When was the last time you've seen that?
Yeah, no,
It doesn't happen anymore.
It's crazy
because he beats it now.
Yeah, no, so the game plan is still the same. The game plan is still stop Cade. He's just gotten better at dealing with it.
And you can't stop him at this point.
So
they've shifted to this zone approach, and that worked one game. Literally one game. And then Detroit's like, oh, we figured out how to play against the zone.
Shout out Stu. This is a man's game.
100%.
They don't want to match up with us. They don't want to match. Shout out. What a quote. What a fucking.
Just quote a year for him, honestly. Yeah. But like, I want to see Detroit, like, much like they did against Atlanta, although I think they match up better against Atlanta because Atlanta is long, yes, but not massy. Like, Detroit just has length and mass that a lot of teams can't handle. Dallas has mass. Like, they've got some sizey guys. But I'm curious to see if Detroit can like really pour it on against them and not have it be as close a game as it was last time that they faced off.
Yeah. You think Stu and PJ go at it?
I think there's a good chance. I think there's a real good chance.
I'd see double technicals in their future. I see getting a little chippy.
I hope not. Although Stu almost got thrown out of the last game too, dude. He was hot. Like him. Yeah. He got that first technical with Jalen Brown. I think they were messing around. The fist, they got to make a fist statue to give this to at the end of the year. It's so great.
Better than RoboCop.
Yo, that RoboCop statue is no joke either, though. I'm all about that. No shade. OG unnamed YouTube user says they try to trap Cade a few times every game, but it always leads to a dunk or three, and then they give it up until they get desperate late. That's what I'm saying. Like, before that caused problems. That's not causing problems anymore. Cade's averaging under 4 turnovers a game. Under 4 turnovers
and over 9 assists. Mm-hmm. It's really like that like that's been like my greatest joy of his development has like been the turnovers going down, because I think a lot of people just thought like, it's just going to be part of his game, especially with the usage. The fact like that just shows how fucking good he is.
Yeah.
Like, it's year 2 of All-Star Cade. Like, he's only gotten better. He's only gotten more heliocentric. Like, it's not like there is a Trey Murphy or like a sidekick really. And he's just adapted.
The focus on him is growing at an exponential rate, but his ability to be better than that is growing at an even greater rate. Like, it's these two forces colliding, and he's just blowing it out of the water. He's forcing it away. That's why I called him Godzilla -1 last year. Every time you hit him, he gets better and better and better. The dude's a beast, an absolute monster. Never gonna give it up. Rick Astley style. But you know, that's where we're at this point.
Just got rolled, dude.
But this is the battle of #1 overall picks. Cade a few years before, Cooper this year, Cooper Young looking really good, Cade looking really good. But the #1 overall pick ain't always that great. They're usually pretty great, but it ain't always that great. And Mickey and I wanted to take a look at the top ones over the last decade from the NBA. And we will say also 11 years ago, the 11th #1 was Karl Anthony Towns. So just missed out on him. And right before that, Andrew Wiggins, another guy. If you think he's a geezer, first overall pick 12 years ago. So there is that. A decade in the league. What are you going to do? So where do we want to start? Mickey, you want to start from the bottom, or do you want to start from the top and go down?
Yeah. Let's start from the top. Okay. Let's start from the top. Because this is like, who's the #1 to rule them all here?
Yeah.
Who's the and I think just like, it's still early days with this, but I just think like the potential and it's got to be Wemby. Like, I think like any team would love to be building their team around him. Like, he's so fucking good. And as much as I want to be a homer here and give it to the Jeff Teague and our MVP, I think I got to go Wemby here. Controversial take.
I totally understand. I'm right there. It'd be hard to doubt it. at this point. I think I would also make him the first one just because of the size and the ability. Like it, we've never seen anything like it. Like it just
And
never seen anything.
the shooting, like he had a bad game against the Knicks. Like he in the cup game, like he did not play well. But
Those guys, I want to say in that game, those guys all looked young in the clutch. They all looked like they hadn't been there before in the clutch moment.
yeah, I had some flashbacks watching a young, exciting team struggle against a seasoned Knicks squad. I got to be honest with you, and I will say, the Knicks took care of business and they
They
look
did.
good. And
Shout out
they,
Tyler Kolek.
yeah, shout out Tyler Kolek, OG Ananobi, fucking Captain Clutch. Like, yeah, they looked really tight. They looked
Mhm.
like they wanted it and they knew exactly what to do. And I like was getting round one flashbacks, dude. And I
I mean,
was like,
apparently they didn't want it bad enough to hang the banner in
are they
their
not?
arena. They're not doing it. They said they're not doing it, which I I kind of think is dumb because Milwaukee and Los Angeles have done it, and also like it's a thing. This is an annual tournament. I think it's cool that they won. I think it's a cool thing to win, and the players care. You win some money. I I would hang it if Detroit had it. I'd hang it. That's my thought.
He'd hang that shit. All right.
Uh,
Who's next? Who's
I'm
next,
not.
Harry?
I'm not quite there to next yet. Just because I want to touch on this OG unnamed YouTube user. This is my hesitation on Wembanyama. Is he says, copium take, copium take. Wemby will never play enough to be MVP. And in his first season, played 71 games. Last year, 46 with the blood clot. This year, 13 so far. He's only played about half the games so far this season. So, like, that is something to take into consideration. When players are this tall, when people are this tall, injuries are a concern. So, and that's going to have an effect on some of our other players. I think if we're making this list in 5 years, then we'll have a better idea of whether Wemby is the number one. But just because it's a blank slate at this moment and he's showing so much growth, Wemby's the number one.
Yeah, respect OG. I appreciate you being here with us. I think it's Big Cope. I think it's Star Wars: A New Cope. I think it's Contavious Caldwell Cope over here, dude. I love Cade, but I think Wemby will win multiple MVP awards.
It's hard. I think it's hard to tell because of the injuries. So like,
Yeah.
who knows if he stays healthy, he'll win multiple. Will he stay healthy is the question, because that is the question that
I don't consider blood clots like injury prone. You know,
No,
like I like.
he wasn't out half this season for injury, for blood clots. He had the calf strain and stuff.
Okay.
I'm not saying that will happen. I'm saying that if he's not the number one, that's the only reason why he's not the number one. But I also think that Cade Cunningham isn't that far away from being the number one out of all these two, and he's my number two. It's not even close, like among people. It's closer between Cade and Wemby to me than it is between Cade and Ant, who is, I think, my third on this list. And the reason I say that is for all the reasons we brought up about Cade earlier. Like, who else would you want to have leading your franchise?
Yeah, I agree with you. Surprise, surprise. I really agree with you. I think Cade, like, I do think Cade is a better player than Anthony Edwards. We'll just get into it. Anthony Edwards is my number three. Anthony Edwards is really fucking good.
We're 3 for 3 here.
he is scoring and shooting incredibly well. He's like a really good player. He's super fun. Like he's a good defender. He's getting better as a facilitator. And I think like what Minneapolis fans and like other NBA fans in general would argue is like he's been to the conference finals twice.
Yeah. He can play defense too. He also can play defense.
Yes, he can. But I mean, so can Cade, and he can't pass like Cade. And I think here's my argument, and we were sort of talking about this off air before, is Ant has a better supporting cast and has had a better supporting cast when he's taken his team far. Like basically a depoy, one of Cat or Randall, who are like closer to all-stars than Cade has ever played with, and one's just like a straight up all-star. I don't think Anthony Edwards, if you put him on this Pistons team, I don't think the Pistons would be the 1 seed. That's my argument. I think they might be like the 3rd or the 4th seed, maybe the 5th seed, but I don't think he can do what Cade does.
If you swapped him out for Cade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's just it's a different sort of thing. And having Cade as a point guard doing all the stuff that he does, he makes everybody so much fucking better. It's unreal. I think Cat gives everybody a lot of opportunities to get theirs. I think Cade improves other players. That's my uh, reason for him over Ant. But Ant is my clear cut third on that list. And OG unnamed YouTube users are still very butthurt about losing on a Cade Wemby pairing. Would the Pistons ever lose?
What about like forget Wemby? What about Chet? Can you imagine how good Chet would be on this squad?
Yeah,
like,
it's like
there's so many coulda, woulda, shoulda. Oh god, dude. Yeah.
It's not, and going for San Antonio, Bryce Harper, he's looking really good.
Yeah. I haven't. Oh.
He's a dude.
Oh wait, right. You mean Dylan Harper?
Did I say Bryce Harper?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I meant Dylan Harper.
Yeah, who's by the way, whose favorite player is Cade Cunningham? Wears number 2, plays. I mean, I just love that like other young players are being like, I want to be like that. Like that, like that's an archetype for young guys. It's not just like I'm a Kobe guy. I'm a you know, like even like Brandon Miller coming out and saying like Paul George, you know, like that's an interesting one. But like, and I'm not saying Paul George is bad. I'm just like, it's cool to hear Cade be like, oh yeah, that's my favorite player.
Yeah, it's going to happen a lot more, I think, now. Like ball handlers, scorers, facilitators,
pace, yeah,
guys who can play both ends of the court, of course. And I can't believe I called Dylan Harper Bryce Harper thinking about the Philadelphia Phillies. Really insane. Anyway, so our third. Shame on I. Our third player was Ant. Incredible, exciting talent. Good.
He rocks. He's really good.
Super good.
He's A1 from day one.
Good for him. So now we get into this is where it gets like a little tricky for me for the fourth number 1 guy. I'm going Cooper. I think Cooper is number 4 on that list because he's 18, because he's balling out, and because he has 2-way ability on this squad. And I'm excited to see him play tonight. Like when he was at Duke, he started slow at Duke, and by the end of the season, he was just rolling guys. That's kind of what it feels like right now in the NBA. Like he's really exploding, and he's so young. And he's big. I can't wait to see what he looks like when he shaves the facial hair and starts taking basketball even more seriously.
Yeah, that's I mean that's a good tip if he's watching. That's something he can do right now. But yeah, I get that, and I think like Magic fans are punching, all the Magic fans that subscribe to this podcast are punching the air right now. Wait, no, he's not. Okay, Cat is just outside the.
Yeah, Cat's outside.
Yeah. But I know, like, I think a lot of people would be like, why not Paolo? And I think like Paolo is like, it's the fit with Fultz or not Fultz, that I did a Franz, excuse me. That was a Fultzian slip there. But preview. But yeah, the fit with Franz, and like maybe it's just because they've both been injured. Like they're kind of like they've been staggered and they've been successful without one or the other, so it's just kind of weird. But like it's just like a little like unclear like how his role is best with the Magic, and I don't think him like being your best player who the offense runs through is like been proven as like a successful or like even the best thing for the team. So I'm not, that obviously doesn't mean Paolo's bad, but I think the like scouting and the potential of Cooper, like you'd probably rather have him based on what we've seen from Paolo in 3 years.
Yeah. It seems like Paolo hasn't taken this step that people want him to take, right? Like he might be capable of it, but the ability to see Cooper's future rise as opposed to Paolo's after like the start to this season specifically is just greater. And again, he's younger. So there's that element too. And like, I think he's a better defender on top of it. So like, I like Paolo. I wanted Paolo in that draft pretty bad. But I mean, it's okay. I don't mind where we ended up.
You know who else wanted Paolo in that draft? Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, he was asked like who would you take number one like in that draft, and I think he said Paulo, and I think he said he just wants to win.
Yeah.
Like he's just got that motor, like that Cade, like he recognizes that in him, and like that's high praise. So I don't think we've seen the best from Paulo. I think like injuries and whatnot have like stunted the growth, and I still think the Magic are real good. So
I'm
more to
curious.
come.
I'm curious if Paulo finishes up his career with Orlando, or if after this contract he goes somewhere else, or like near the end of this contract he goes somewhere else and becomes like their number two as opposed to like their go-to guy, and then that team is like fucking nuts.
Is there a team that you can think of, like as an example of like
Unfortunately, not Detroit, just because he can't shoot the rock like that, and he's like a little
right?
bit of a ball stopper. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm curious to see like what his game becomes. But I really like Paulo. I like him in general. He's my number five, and it is pretty close with Cooper.
Could an example have been like the Damian Lillard Trailblazers kind of situation
Oh
where
yeah,
like he
that
would
would have
be
been
like,
so
you
good.
know,
Yeah,
like yeah.
yeah, that'd be money. Honestly, like he's good. He's really good. Do you have a number? Wait, is that on me for six? Because
Yeah, because
are
you
we in the
you did
same
you
order?
did you did Cooper and I did Paolo.
Is that how you was that how you
Yeah,
were gonna
yeah,
rank
yeah, yeah.
them?
It
So
was. I think. I mean, Cooper Flag. Like, I don't watch a lot of college. Like, full disclosure, but people like had him like touted as like the highest like level prospect since LBJ, right? Like, so
yeah,
or like,
yeah,
I mean, I feel like they say that about everybody. Like, they said that about Wemby. They said that about Cade.
yeah.
Like, it was like the most all around prospect. But like, no, I think like the progress that Cooper's already shown. So, since we're talking about Cooper, real quick, we got OG asking. Oh wow, pull up Pella with Ant would be sick.
It would be so nasty.
That's a great
Yeah,
example, by the way. I think
yeah.
that's a really good. That would be really cool.
It'd be nasty.
Although like, what can Paulo do that like Julius Randle? Like, I mean,
He's
he's
better than
younger.
Julius. He's
He's
better than Julius.
younger, and yeah, but it's gonna cost you Julius. All right, whatever.
It
Or
it would be a step up. I
it's gonna
think
cost you Jaden McDaniels.
yeah,
So
for sure.
it would cost you Jaden McDaniels.
Uh,
Who I
so
would
and
love.
he also asks who's the rookie of the year right now, Khan or Coop. Right now it's Khan because Khan's been great this whole season. Cooper's coming though, I think. What do you think?
I want to look at their win totals, and I feel like they're
Their
both.
win totals?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're both pretty bad. How many? The Hornets are 12th in the Eastern, and then the Mavericks.
Mavs are 10 and 17. I think the Mavs have won twice as many games.
I think I would say. I think you're right. I think they're both at 12 seed actually, but I do think I would say Khan because he's just been so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like he's been like, do we need LaMelo Ball good?
Yeah.
like so. Not that that's like whatever, but like there are other factors. But I think right now, if they stopped everything today, like he's just been like good by like multiple draft class standards.
Teams like Washington and Charlotte are so confusing to me because they have these young guys who I'm like, they're pretty fucking awesome. And the teams just can't get it together.
Well, like I would say that's more true of Charlotte. Like
You
I
don't
think,
you don't
well,
think Washington has guys? Like I think Alex Sarr is fucking sick.
I don't think I get as excited about Alex Sarr as I do like Brandon Miller or Con Knipple,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess that's it. But I think their pieces are more exciting. But like for some reason they traded away both their bigs to Phoenix, and yeah, I don't know. Like, by the way,
and they have Kalkbrenner.
They do have Musa, yeah. Musa. But I do like Keyshawn George, but I just don't think anyone there is like a star.
Yeah.
I think Brandon Miller could be a star. I think Con Knipple could be a star. Like
I think they can both be good. I don't know if those guys are stars.
I think they have more star potential than Sar potential.
I don't know. If I think that's true.
No. Sar's been good. Sar's been good, but it's a tough archetype, as you see. Mobley is struggling to break through that ceiling. And they're both injury prone. So, but so is Brandon Miller.
Right.
He's had injury problems.
It's tough breaking through to that like star level, essentially.
I think Con is my answer to your point.
We're both on that Con.
Yeah, we're Con heads, big Con heads.
Artists at the moment.
Yeah,
Con artist with a bomb. strapped to my stomach screaming, let's get it on. If you're a D12 fan and you're 40 years old. That's
I think that's our target demo, actually.
You know what I'm talking
I'm
about?
not even joking. I'm not even joking. All right. Am I up next?
We're on to 6, and I think it's me because I think you were.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So this is where it's like tough because the first 5, it's like, yeah. Now we're on to 6, and I think my answer is going to be shocking. Maybe I'm taking DeAndre Ayton as number 6.
That was what I was looking at too. That's that. Well, yeah. I think that's where I was looking too.
He helped go to a finals. He's had bad years, but he's still playing, and right now he's playing successfully.
Shit, because I was trying to think of like just in a vacuum, like forget position of need, like who I would rather have on my team right now. Like if I was starting a team, like would you rather have the potential of like the potential of a young DeAndre Ayton or the potential of a young Zachary Risachet? And because I think that's the only other.
But that's not the case. You were debating? We know what DeAndre Ayton is at this point.
Right.
We know who he is. But those are the two. Those are the two I'm debating at this moment, which is so nuts. It's so nuts because, I mean, like, I don't really want. I'm fine with Risachet. I think Risachet could be pretty good, but like I said, I like Alex Starr better. I'm kind of surprised Starr didn't go number 1 in that draft, or Steph Castle, and I think Risachet's fine. It's just,
I mean, Brandon Miller's better than Risachet, like by a lot. Like, wouldn't you say?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know because like he doesn't play, so there's that. But like, there's also there's no character concern with Risachet. There was no scandal with this like whole gun thing. That I put that really on Brandon Miller. But there's another player that like I do take that into consideration with overall. But that I have Ayton right now. With, I think Risachet has the ability to pass. Is Risachet who your next player is? Your 7 man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the dude can shoot. He's pretty good.
Shit.
Do you have somebody else that you can put ahead?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Who you got?
Yeah, it's the guy you got issues with. I think the like potential of a healthy Zion Williamson might be more exciting than Zachary Risachet, to be honest with you. Like I like, it does seem like, I don't know. I think Zion Williamson could get like a contract, like a 20 to 30 million, like a 25 million dollar contract somewhere, and like prove it. Like I know they say that every year and he never does it, but like I think the like boom bust potential is like, I just like, there's nothing like super exciting about Risachet.
There's not. And that's how much of a concern the Zion Williamson stuff is to me. Not only, and I loved Zion coming out of college.
You go Risachet.
I go Risachet for my 7. Like DeAndre Ayton 6. He says stop, Zion is done.
You're right. He's right.
Ayton has a big attitude problem, and that limits his potential. That's true. He also, I think he just won like a humanitarian award for the NBA. So like,
he produces though. Like he can actually like be, as you've said, he was part of a winning team. You're right. I gotta go Risachet as much as like.
Oh really? I talked you out of it because of the Zion.
You and OG bullied me out of it. Well,
let me read you these stats for Zion Williamson, who's been in the league.
He was an all-star. He was an all-star for a second. For like a split second, he was an all-star.
Here are the games played: 24, 61, 0, 29, 70. 30, 10. He's played over 30 games.
So you're telling me there's
twice.
A chance.
Like over 30 games twice. That's
but I can't believe
season.
I can't believe he played 70 games. That's
I know. I really can't believe he played 70 games either. He also has the fucking rape allegation, man. Like,
yeah, nobody seems to remember about that, by the way. In the NBA PR machine this fall was like, Zion lost a ton of weight. He looks better than ever. I'm like, the last I heard about this motherfucker, he had like his security guy like threatened to assassinate a girl. Like, what are we talking about? But like, it's whatever, man.
It's insane. Like, here's another problem with it. His contract has these stipulations about like weight loss and stuff. If that doesn't tell you that there are concerns behind closed doors about his character and his like ability to like play basketball and take the game seriously, That's why he's so low on my list. He's not even my 7 at this point,
Here's what I
or
do.
my 8 rather.
I pay Coach K a buttload of money. I get him on the staff. What do we got from OG? Because I'm just joking.
Zion's more likely to be
He's
400 pounds in a few years than contributing to a playoff team in a few years. That's probably true. I hope he doesn't. Like, I hope he gets it together for like himself, because I believe in the best in people. I believe people have that ability. So I hope things work out for him. And I hope the rape allegation is just, or the assault allegation is maybe a better way to call it. I hope that's just an allegation overall.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
But like, I stay away from smoke unless I'm the one making it, if you know what I'm talking about, son.
Hey.
So like that, let's not dwell too much on Zion here. I'm going to tell you straight up, he's my number 10 on this list because of all those
What?
concerns. Yeah.
Okay. I'll switch to Ricochet, but I do think he should be next.
Okay.
Based on what I'm the other names I'm looking at the moment.
They're bad. The other names are bad, but one of them was an all-star. So let's just rank those two names in the order that are left. Who are you taking?
Ben Simmons was an all-star?
Yeah.
I know he was rookie of the year, but I forgot that he was an all-star. Man, he was so exciting for a second there. Wasn't that the year that Jason Tatum was drafted too?
Oh wait, it's all-star or all-NBA. I don't know what he was, all-star or all-NBA.
I don't know if Ben Simmons was ever an all-star. I know he was rookie of the year, and I think it was when Tatum's first year.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But I mean, he's had more of a career than the other guy, even though he's like actually broken. And I hate to say that about, I mean, in basketball,
they messed him up.
Well, and his, you know what I was listening to? There's this really good, you'd like this podcast.
Ben Simmons was an all-star, by the way.
He was.
Yeah,
there's a really good podcast called True Anon.
Twice. Sorry.
Twice?
Yeah.
So, really good podcast called True Anon. They did a thing with Torre.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about just how fucking online NBA players are. Like they're like as bad as us, if not worse.
Yeah, they're kids.
They're 100%. And
3-time all-star. Oh my God.
Wild to me. It's wild to me.
He should be higher on our list, I guess.
But I mean, like, you think that's what broke him, right? It was like the social media and like the clowning and that one series and just like
it probably contributed. It's just he never took that shooter step, right? And like I don't know, like maybe playing with Jimmy Butler wasn't great for his brain.
Not everybody likes negative reinforcement.
An all-star 3 years in a row, 2018, 19, and 20. That's crazy. Let's talk about his stats those years. So
he was looking like fucking Magic Johnson, like a defensive Magic. He's like
absolutely nuts. So in those years, he was he didn't shoot 3 ever. He shot less than 0.1 3-point attempt a game, 660 from the free throw line. He was averaging like roughly 8 or 9 assists, or between 7 and 9 assists.
Dude, 16, 8, and 8 your rookie year is awfully good.
It's not bad. So like
with over 2.5 stocks.
So
like almost 3 stocks. That's crazy.
We got to talk about bumping him up. I think I got to put him ahead of Ayton then at this point. Maybe he's
I would put him against ahead of Zion, I think.
Yeah. So right now for me, 6 is Simmons.
I forgot how good those years were.
I thought he was the next coming of like true basketball because he was so massive. He was before Cade, right? Yeah, like he was the Cade. When Cade became available, I was like, please don't be Ben Simmons, because I put so much stock into Ben Simmons at LSU. I forgot that he was that good for that many years. So he's my number 6, and then Ayton, then Ricochet, and then let's talk Markelle Fultz, dude.
I mean, I remember wanting to give Markelle Fultz, like, I wanted him on the team like 2 years ago, like in a backup point guard role as a guy who just wouldn't have any expectations. Let's pull up his stats. Let's do it.
They're not great. And remember, people were like, well, we can't get him because he'd want a bigger role. He's not even in the NBA.
That's sad.
It is sad. But
let's see. His best year, he would put up, it is 13, 5, and 3 for the Magic. Yeah.
Wild. And
Yeah.
and again, for me, like design stuff, it's not performance. I mean, it's some performance stuff, but it's mainly like character stuff. Uh and
And
yeah,
and health and
yeah,
health.
and health. And yeah, OG, you're right. It's crazy how good Ben Simmons was as a non-shooter, like just defensively, assists,
Yeah.
rebounding, like really
Yeah.
something else, really just massive, and it all just fell down. So shame on
The
us for helping
passing the
solo.
passing the
Mhm.
passing was so good.
So nuts.
Um,
We
yeah.
should probably end this show though, considering there's a game in 9 minutes.
Let's
So
go.
OG, thanks for sticking around. Richard, did you get him
Richard in
for
the
it?
cut. Yeah.
Fultz knee is cooked. Like it's too bad. He was exciting out of Washington, I believe. They really messed up his shot when they
It
brought him
just goes
in.
to show how hard scouting is,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like that's something I again I don't watch a lot of college ball, so it's something that I just find like I'm really impressed when people like make calls. You know.
hmm It's it's a tough bag, and it ain't my thing. Well, thanks for sticking around, everybody. We really appreciate it. We're gonna be here on the 23rd because we didn't want to do something on like the big days, and we got a special guest, Nate Fridson, comedian Nate Fridson, originally out of Detroit, now out of New York, is gonna be on that show. We're gonna have some new fun segments on there, and it's gonna be a preview for that Pistons Lakers game, which is probably the biggest one coming up here, I believe,
Yeah.
before the end of the year. So thanks so much for being here. I've been Harry.
And I'm Mickey.
And we leave the show the same way we always do. And that is by reading the acronym OOBH, forward of the Blazing Horse, because that's how a horse would talk anyway.
It is.
So, with that,